It's a very good question, and it goes back to day one when I first started with the Kings, when I first signed there, when I was a player. They always were good to me. We had some sort of a program after games. We'd go out and speak to the fans and go into the rooms and the members' rooms and stuff like that, and really interact with the fans. And you got to know them pretty well. And then in my first year, halfway through the year, I did my ACL and did my knee, and we made it to the finals that year, and we were playing in Brisbane. And the Kings weren't going to fly me up, which was fine because I wasn't playing. But it was a semi-final, and all the Kings fans were going. And when they found out that I wasn't going, and a couple of other development players for the Kings, they pulled some money together and paid for flights, and I paid for the accommodation. So I think ever since then, the bond between myself and the fans has been, somewhat pretty close. Richard and Debbie, who's the head of the fan club, with Linda and Kate especially, always working with the Kings lately. They've been there since day one, and I'm pretty lucky, and it's been a special kind of relationship that's held true for the season, and for the seasons that have been since my first year. They came even when I signed with Melbourne Tigers, and then I was playing in the Seabull in the off seasons to the NBL when I was with the Kings and stuff like that. They'd fly down for weekends and come down and spend time with my family and my parents, and come watch my Seabull games. So we've always stayed close, and kept in contact, and now that I'm back with the Kings on a full-time basis, I see quite a bit of them, and we have a bit of banter, and it's a bit of fun, and I think they enjoy it just as much as I do. 100%. It's a deep love for the Sydney Kings that I've always had. Just them giving me the opportunity in my first contract. I think my best years in the NBL were with the Sydney Kings. Obviously, Brian Goorjian created a culture within the players that he brought in and the systems that we ran, and obviously I was a big part of that. Really kind of helped, and being through the struggles with the Sydney Kings financially over the years, and when they went under, we learned to play and deal through that, and do whatever we needed to do to still put a good product on the court, and we invested a lot of emotion and time and effort, even though we weren't getting paid for the times that the Kings were going under. But now it's a great feeling to have such good ownership come back into the Kings and see that there is a real positive direction. And I'm super fortunate for this to be my third go around coming back to the Kings. Firstly when I first signed, and then my later career only signed for the one game just to help them out while a couple of guys were injured, and then it didn't quite work out. But now coming back around to the coaching stuff, I've always thought I wanted to be a coach eventually. So it's an exciting time for me, just for the next step.